After spending most of the night figuring out singular parts of the Citadelle de Morts Easter egg puzzles, I finally managed to reach the end boss and wanted to share details and give you a full walkthrough of Citadelle de Morts Easter egg. The whole thing revolves around these sword wonder weapons with different elements, these knight statues. There's a lot of puzzles, and let me go step by step. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel. That helps a lot, so let me get into it. First of all, I usually don't do anything in the map until about wave 6. You want to go through the main castle doors next, using the cannon, and then reaching the Pack-a-Punch room, unlocking the Pack-a-Punch, and then talking to Krafft next. Those are the first steps you need to take. Once Krafft looks at you with those purple funny eyes of his, you'll be able to see many new puzzles and secrets for the Easter egg. As a solo player, I like to do some things first before going into the difficult parts. The first thing I do is go through this disappearing wall and do the light puzzle. The light puzzle is the final step of the lion sword, but it can be done right away, so why not do it right away when there's not that many zombies around. Shoot at this little beacon of light above the vulture pop until it becomes solid, and then go to the next one. You have to shoot them from the right angle, from the left or the right, for them to move in the right direction. Once the light beam becomes solid, you've done it correctly. The last light beam is going to point towards the Paladin's brooch that you need to pick up by pressing your interact button. Once you have that in your inventory, you're ready to go to the next step. Now we need to get the lion sword to actually finish this. To get the lion sword, you'll have to wait until wave 10. That is when these zombies with knight helmets on their heads will start spawning. Once you find one of these guys in wave number 10 and take him down, you're going to drop a stamp. Pick that stamp up and go towards this statue in this courtyard with a lion on it. Pick the bastard sword from the statue and you'll have to do a puzzle now. These flying parasites that are glowing will start spawning. You need to kill one and your bastard sword is going to start glowing after the kill. Now go to this door that's located next to the well in the village and hit it with your glowing sword. You'll have to do this 3 more times until you have 4 signs on that door. So rinse and repeat. Kill the flying parasites that are glowing, charge your sword, hit the door. Once you have all 4 signs on the door, interact with it and you'll enter a small hallway, at the end of which is a pedestal. Look at the bottom of the pedestal to see these signs. They're important and their order from top to bottom is important. Once you put the sword in the pedestal by interacting with it, you're going to have to shoot the 4 signs that jump out of it, in the order that's shown on the pedestal itself. Doing this correctly will reward you with the Lion Wonder Weapon Sword. Now go back to the courtyard with the stone knight statues, and next to the lion graffiti, if you got the Paladin's brooch that I showed you how to get by solving the light puzzle, there will be a circle on the ground. You should be able to interact with this glowing circle on the ground. This will put the brooch down and spawn zombies that you need to kill with the light sword close to the circle to fill it up. Once done with that, a box will spawn. You have to hit it with your light sword, and that's going to unlock the light enchantment. And finish the part of the Easter egg with the lion sword. Now let's do the lightning sword. Kill another zombie with a knight helmet on his head to get the stamp and interact with the statue that has a stag on its chest. Get the bastard sword from it, and now we need to find 3 lightning rods. The first one is located in the barn, next to the Deadshot buff. For this next part, you'll need to put the Deadfire ammo mod on your weapon. Go towards the well in the village again, and next to the Speed Cola buff, shoot at this junction box. That's gonna give you the next lightning rod. The last lightning rod drops from a zombie that can be found in the room where Krafft is. Go down there and he should spawn. You should see a lightning rod embedded in this zombie. Kill him to get the final lightning rod. Now go to the ramparts outside the castle and interact with this metal pot on the wall. This will start a storm and you need to use your lightning bastard sword to kill enemies that spawn with purple eyes. From time to time lightning will hit your sword, and once it's charged, you want to hit the pot with that charged sword. Do this 3 times and you'll be able to pick up the Stag Wonder weapon necessary for the next steps of the Easter egg in Citadelle de Morts. Now let's unlock the lightning incantation. Go back to the barn where you picked up the first lightning rod. There will be a horseshoe above the door. Shoot it, it's gonna drop on the ground and pick it up. Go back to the cannon that you used to open the castle door with and shoot yourself out of the cannon. You're gonna land at the spawn point. You need to look for a storm cloud around there. Once you see the storm cloud, go there and pick up the charged horseshoe. With the charged horseshoe, go back to the square where you first spawned in the game. There will be another circle on the ground, interact with it, and you're gonna have to charge the horseshoe now by killing zombies with your lightning wonder weapon. Once that is done, you will have unlocked the electric incantation. Time to go back to the courtyard with the stone statues. You need to have picked up another stamp from the zombies with knight helmets on them and interact with the statue that has a raven on its shoulder. Now that you got the raven void bastard sword in your hand, you want to pick up this item in the secret library room next to the courtyard with the statues. It can be on the shelves or on the table. It's going to be random each time you try this. Before you pick it up, try to look at the pedestal of the item that you're going to pick up, because it gives hints on how to solve the puzzle that we're going to be solving next. Next, you want to reach the basement of the bar located next to the spawn point into the map. There's a big circle on the wall here. You want to interact with it to put the antiquity item that you picked up at the library, and interact with it again to place the sword in the slit and start solving the puzzle. I'll leave a link in the description describing a detailed way to solve this puzzle, but the gist of it is that there's an outer circle with 12 symbols on here. Those are the zodiac signs, and the inner circle with 4 glyphs. Those are the alchemical elements. The item or the antiquity that you placed in the center of this circle defines which zodiac sign you should pick, and each zodiac sign corresponds to a single element. If you know the zodiac sign, pick the corresponding element. If you know the element, you have 3 tries to pick the zodiac sign that corresponds to that element. If you make 3 wrong choices, you'll be able to do it again next wave. Once you solve the puzzle correctly, a hole will spawn in the ground, and these void balls will start coming from the puzzle sign on the wall. You need to position yourself behind the hole so that the void balls drop into the hole. After the 3 balls successfully make it into the hole will move upstairs, where you'll have to repeat this process again, and then it will move next to the pool table. Once you got all 3 balls in the hole again, go back to the basement, and you should be able to pick up the Raven Void Wonder Weapon. Now we want to finish with the Raven Void Sword and get the Dark Incantation. Go to the pack-a-punch in the Citadel, and behind it you will find this fast travel through the sewers point. Pay for it, and you'll start sliding down the sewer. Close to the exit there's a raven statue on the right that you need to shoot. As you exit the sewers, you will see a raven flying above. Shoot it and it will drop a raven's talon. Now take this talon and go to the water area in the basement of the Citadel. A circle will spawn on the ground, and you need to kill zombies with your Raven's Shadow Sword. Once you kill enough, you'll get the Dark Incantation. Last but not least is the Dragon Fire Sword. Get another stamp from the Knight Helmet zombies and interact with the statue that has a dragon on it. You can actually get this stamp from the Knight Helmet zombies in just 1 or 2 waves, because these zombies will keep spawning until you unlock all 4 statues, even in a single wave. Now that you got the Bastard Sword from the dragon statue, go to this spot in the Citadel and insert it into the slit. For this next part, you will need the Juggernaut buff and the Stamina Up buff. You need to find 3 lit braziers. The first one is on the ramparts of the Citadel. Interact with the lit brazier and run as fast as you can back to the sword. Once you reach the sword, remember to interact with it to pass the flame onto the sword. The next brazier can be found west of the spawn point after the first door. Repeat the process and run back to the sword. The last brazier is next to the frenzy inducer next to the spawn point. This is where you'll need the stamina up and jug buffs, because it's a long way off from the sword and you'll have to constantly run back to the sword. Do remember to sprint. For this next part you'll need to light 3 bonfires, and to do this you'll need 3 Molotov cocktails or use the Dragonfire Wonder Weapon special ability. You can craft the Molotovs at the crafting tables. Here are the locations of the bonfires. One is above the exit here. Next one is above the entrance into the Citadel. And there's one beyond this oil trap here. Once you light those 3 bonfires, a special enemy will spawn. Once you kill him, he's gonna drop an Ankh. With the Ankh in your inventory, go down below, next to the entrance into the Citadel, and a light circle is gonna spawn on the ground. Kill enemies with your fire wonder weapon, and that's gonna unlock the fire incantation. Now you got all 4 sword wonder weapons for the Citadel the MortsEaster Egg. When doing this solo, you're gonna try and do this as soon as possible before many waves are started. And just a reminder, if you find this video helpful or you want to support my work, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. The next thing you need to do is collect these document pages. I usually do this very early on in the game after I've talked to Krafft, because it's easier with less zombies. These pages spawn in 9 different spots in this room here with the stamina buff machine. They can be on the wall, on the bunk beds, on the shelves, on the sofa next to the TV, on both sides of the walls, so you will need to carefully look because they're deceptively well hidden. When you pick the first one up, the next one will spawn, and all the way up until page 4. Now you want to go back to the bar next to the spawn point. In various places in the bar there will be these 6 bottles that you need to interact with, and they will show you different signs. Write these down, take screenshots of these in the order from 1 to 6. These bottles have Roman numerals on them to show you the correct sequence. You need to remember that sequence because you're going to be using it next. Now that you have those 6 signs in the order, go and buy the melee macchiato buff. You will need it to break through a wall in the basement in the room with the water on the floor. Once you break that wall, you'll see these signs on the wall. Shoot the first sign that corresponds to the first sign that you found in the bar, and these glyphs will start scrambling and shuffling. Once they stop, shoot the second sign from the bar. Once you've shot all 6 signs in the sequence that you've seen in the bar, a hidden book will appear. Interact with it to place the 4 torn pages that you picked up earlier, and you'll get these 4 red glowing signs in the book. What you need to do next is look at these traps on the floor. Looking at the book, from the top left to the bottom left, top right, and bottom right, you need to find traps on the floor that correspond with the signs in the book in this order. There's one of these traps next to the Peck-a-Punch room, one is where Krafft is at, and then there's several on the surface. What needs to be done is activate the corresponding trap and kill several zombies until the trap goes out. In my footage here, I did the trap with the eyelashes, which was the second trap in my book, and then I found it here in the village. It might be on a different spot for you. You can check if you did the right trap by going back to the book. Basically, traps with all features enabled will not be part of the puzzle. Only those that have certain features lit up are pertinent to the puzzle. Once you complete the 4th trap, this little light will lead you to a wall and show you the next puzzle. This is the last part of the Citadel the MortsEaster Egg puzzles before the final boss. Look at the wall here and you'll have to memorize in which order you're going to have to do these elemental challenges. For me on this wall, the first thing to do was the Raven, so you need to go to the courtyard with the stone knight statues. And I picked up the Shadow Incantation and then picked up the Raven sword. You have to cast your incantation by pressing Q on your keyboard onto the statue and do a quick inspect of the weapon. If you're successful, the statue will start to glow. Now do this for the other 3 incantations and elemental wonder weapon swords. Cast the incantation and inspect the sword. The order in which to do this is based on the picture that we unlocked previously. For me, the next one was the lion statue, so I picked up the light incantation, got the light sword, cast the incantation, and inspected the weapon in front of the statue. Next was the dragon with the fire incantation. And lastly, the stag with the electro incantation. Now that all 4 statues are glowing, they're gonna start sending a light beam and dropping down this mystic orb that you need to pick up. Take that mystic orb to that picture that we unlocked at the beginning of this puzzle for the next step. For the next part, you need to charge the mystic orb with different elemental energies. This charging is done next to the points where you unlock the incantations. For the electric, go to the spawn and insert the mystic orb into this slot, and you need to kill zombies with electric damage. Whether that will be by using the special ability of the electric wonder weapon sword or by using the incantations that spawn nearby is your own choice. If you're using the wonder weapon, only the special attack that you get by pressing both mouse buttons at the same time once it's charged up counts towards the electric damage kills. Once the mystic orb is charged, you'll probably hear a dialogue from Krafft and you'll be able to pick it up from its slot. I'll do the same for the other element. You'll charge the dark energy for the mystical orb in the water-filled underground room. Remember to interact with this gizmo once to put the mystic orb in, and interact the second time to activate the charging. Dark incantation is great for farming zombies for the mystical orb. Get the fire sword because its special ability is good for farming souls for mystical orb, and get to the entrance of the Citadel. Fire incantation is also great for farming. For the light sword and incantation, the process is a little bit unique. Go back to the courtyard with all those stone knight statues, and to start the mystical orb charging, you need to put it in a slot that's on the stairs above the courtyard. The charging of the mystical orb with light energy is done by standing in these green orbs of light that will spawn all around the courtyard. Using the light incantation or the light sword did not help at all with charging the mystical orb. Only going through these orbs or standing in them helped. This process was extremely stressful, but in the end I managed to get the mystical orb charged with all 4 elements. Now go back to the image on the wall with 4 elements, place the orb in the center, and you will unlock a secret room, watch the cutscene there, pick up the item, and go all the way back to the square where you spawn into the Citadelle de Morts.
Incantations. I've had just about enough of this mystical hogwash. And with that textbook definition of daddy issues over, who's up for finding a guardian?
You will now be facing the final boss of Citadelle de Morts Easter Egg. Be fully prepared and fully upgraded with the best weapon you can think of. The guy throws some ground slams, lava's everywhere, he has a big armor at first. I did not manage to beat him because I was doing this solo and unprepared, but this is the full walkthrough for Citadelle de Morts Easter Egg in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies mode. I hope this has been helpful to you guys. I know it took a while to release, but it's a really hard Easter egg with lots of little details, lots of things to remember and do. And if this guide helped you, please consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you zombie hunters around. This is the noob signing out.
Consider that a critical.